Boom. Synth fan, welcome. Misha Oliver. Hey, hey. Kathy Murphy. Fox Hill Dreams. Tracy M. Tina G. Stella Baxter. 1269 J Rock. Susie Briswella. Steph KW. Matt Meehan, live from Scotland. Lee Saunders, Lucille, the Trump Reaper. Sandra from Paramount. Bernadette, Julianne Gauthier, John Robichaud, and me, BDD in the Heezy. Where was I? Chrissy M. Ness from Connecticut. Stephanie L. from Florida. Gavin Rutherford. Kathleen Cross. Gwendolyn G. Matt from Albuquerque. It's Tina G's son. Cindy C. Phyllis Hatch, Monique Lee, Jamie from Wisconsin, Rose Cologne, Star Shumate, M. Getz, R2D2, Tenise, Raquel Lopez. Welcome to another episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka Brooklyn Dad, and this is Storytime. Gling, gling. Welcome, everyone. Happy Monday. And let's see, I got a few more welcomes to D. Washington, Deborah Baldini, Lisa Straw, Bernadette, Lee Saunders, Watcher Soko. The whole gang is all here. There's Sylvia Correa, Jasmine Lacey. Welcome, you guys. Welcome. And I see, has Tina G already caught a troll? The show just started. All right, so we got some stuff to get into. Thank you for the compliments on my Spidey shirt. Yesterday, fun fact, yesterday was National Spider-Man Day. So I'm still rocking it. All right, let's jump into our stories of the day. Stories of the day. Are Democrats on the verge of repeating a voting rights blunder that could lead to a new Jim Crow? Senator Lindsey Graham has tested positive for COVID-19. Still negative for his spine, though. Some conservatives are all up in a tizzy over President Obama's planned birthday party this weekend. We'll get into why. And yet again, I'm feeling that disco fever vibe with our latest addition to the guessing game pantheon, Name That Disco Tune. And last but not least, today's You Raggedy Bish is none other than Kevin McCarthy. All right, so this is part of my costume for today's guessing game, the Name That Disco Tune. Long story short, as yesterday was Spider-Man Day, I was watching Spider-Man movies that, Spider-Man, Far From Home, and I was watching like the Avengers, and during the Avengers they started playing some disco, and I was like, that's tomorrow's game, disco. All right, so let's see. Usually I like to start off with some random chill musics. And so let's do that now. Let's get rid of this pop-up box here. There we go. All right. So this past Friday, I told you guys, wifey and I were going to check out a movie called Jolt, which was on Amazon Prime. And honestly, I didn't think much of it. The only reason I put it up here was because I promised you guys I would tell you what I thought of it. And it was okay. It was entertaining, but no big deal, really. You can skip it. You can skip that shit. Next up, Saturday. Saturday was interesting because I don't normally agree with Donald Trump Jr., right? But he made the mistake of posting this nonsense on Saturday, and he said, someone should introduce a bill mandating that you have to show your vaccination card to vote, and watch everyone on the left's brain malfunction and explode. Well, not only did our brains not malfunction and explode, we were like, this sounds like a good idea, stupid. Dude, we are trying to get more people to get vaccinated in case you hadn't been paying attention between cocaine lines, okay? But yeah, that is the goal, to get more people vaccinated. So yeah, we started trending hashtag Vax to Vote. Me, Really American, and the Really American team. So later on it started trending. And so he tried to clear up his faux pas with this follow-up tweet. This king, he just wants to post through it, right? He says, I made a joke about an obviously crazy idea to highlight the hypocrisy of the left, but these authoritarian libs are so unhinged and brain dead that they of course think Vax to Vote is a good idea. You can't make this shit up. Well, actually, thank you for using the hashtag, Junior, because you helped it to trend even more. And not only did it trend, of course, it trended number one. Dumbass. Oh, the cell phone. Anyway, enough of Don Jr. Aside from that, I was having a great time watching Friends. Now, those of you who have already seen Friends, just bear with me, okay? Because I never watched Friends during the 90s, during its heyday when, people were all like, oh, you should see Friends. I wasn't even aware that Friends was a thing, right? So it's not until my wife, expressed her love for the show that I got interested in it. So I'm up to season 3, I think. And this show is fun. It is fun. So the picture on the screen right there, that's Joey and Brooke Shields. Brooke Shields. So this show, it's chock full of celebrity cameo appearances. And not only that, I think the very next episode was Julia Roberts. And I was like, holy shit. Not just Julia Roberts, but Julia Roberts and Jean-Claude Van Damme. And I mean, and I told wifey, I was all excited. I was like, holy shit, this show has stars, celebrities in it. And she's like, oh yeah, that's what they do. That's what they do, apparently. That's all they do. They just have celebrity after celebrity. So I'm looking forward to watching the rest of this. It's 10 seasons, so boom, I'm set. I'm all set. M. Getz says Friends is the worst. You got to try it before you know, I thought it was, nothing before I checked it out. It is very entertaining. Very. I enjoy it. And aside from that, now let's give you a brief update on the Olympics. Okay, so right here, this is a picture of the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat as Canada defeated the women's soccer team. Whew, that is a big blow. So congratulations to our brothers and sisters up north. And, the U.S. still has a shot at the bronze, but damn, this is really, it's a heartbreaker there. And what's even more heartbreaking is that the assholes on the right are thrilled that our own American team lost because of Megan Rapinoe taking a knee. Unreal. Here's some good news. Simone Biles, our very own Simone Biles, has decided that she is going to participate in the beam. Now, I know she opted out of the last events because of, danger and difficulty. I swear to God, I can't think of another event that's more dangerous than the beam. Seriously? You would never, ever, ever, ever catch me doing a backflip or a front flip or any flip on a 4-inch wide wooden beam. That's just me. I haven't trained for it. She is trained for it, and obviously she feels comfortable enough to do it. I wish her all, I don't know what you say to athletes. Obviously, you probably don't say break a leg. You say that to actors and actresses, but I wish her the best. Go Simone. Oh, and that's it for our quick hits. No, that wasn't a quick hits. That's it for our random shit. Okay, let's see. Stacy Mendenhall says she was definitely the most afraid of skills on beam. Oh, we have a competitive gymnast in the audience. That's Stacy Mendenhall. Wow, that's very cool. Did not even know it. All right, so now let's jump into our quick hits. Yeah, you son of a bee. Oh, I see Scribble My Dibbles is in the audience, but she's listening from the car today. Hashtag you got this. Thank you, Scribble. Drive safely. Yeah, no texting and driving. You know that. Okay, let's do our quick hits. Pictured on the screen, for those of you who are driving and not watching, is a very famous actor, famous for having appeared in movies such as Good Will Hunting and the whole Bourne, the Bourne series, Matt Damon. And we learned yesterday that Matt Damon no longer uses the F slur often used to denigrate homosexual men. The F slur. I'm not going to say it, but it sounds like maggot. Okay? He no longer uses this word as of a few months ago. In the year of our Lord, 2021. Yeah, he recently actually admitted this. He said it with pride. It wasn't a gotcha moment. He offered this information as though it was a great thing. Yeah, I just stopped using that homophobic slur just the other day. And he only stopped using it because his daughter wrote up a treatise begging him to stop using it. Matt Damon, I'm done with you, dude. I'm done. It's all I'm going to say about that shit. Really disappointing. Here's two other jackasses. Florida's governor, Ron DeSantis, and Texas's governor, Greg Abbott. And I have them on the screen because Florida and Texas are two of 5 states that are responsible for half of the country's COVID cases. Their cases are exploding. And what is Governor DeSantis doing? He's just, he's suing the CDC over rules and regulations to prevent his citizens from catching COVID. I don't get this. I really don't get how he is popular. He is a popular guy in Florida, apparently. And to continue with the COVID idiocy, Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina has tested positive for COVID. And he is fully vaccinated. Now, I'm not going to post any tweets reveling with joy over the fact that because, he's got COVID. Okay. He's still spineless. He's still an asshole. It couldn't happen to a nicer guy. I can't imagine how on earth Lindsey Graham, as careful as he is, caught COVID. He is on the right, and the people on the right definitely do not care about mask mandates. They don't care about the advice that recently came out that says whether or not you are vaccinated or unvaccinated, you can still contract it. You can still pass it on. You still can. So pay attention. Here is a fully vaccinated senator with COVID-19. So if that's not a poster boy for please wear your mask, I don't know what is. Now, the picture on your screen, even if you're looking up close, it might look like a close-up of some dirty sand on the beach. It is not. Actually, this is an aerial view of a concert that's going on called Lollapalooza. Paula Freitas, no, I have never seen Lindsey Graham wearing a mask. I'm sure he must now, right? He must now. Anyway, Lollapalooza is going on. So what you have is thousands of hot, sweaty people, some shirtless, some wearing shirts, mostly maskless, screaming, spewing spittle into the crowd. There's no social distancing going on whatsoever. And this is potentially a John Robichaud says, where's Waldo? Good question. Here we have another potential super spreader event, as Cha-Cha says here. Yes. Now, speaking of super spreader, excuse me. I hate to segue like that, but President Obama is going to be celebrating his 60th birthday this August 4th. August 4th is President Obama's 60th birthday, and damn it if he doesn't look fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. But the reason I did the segue about using super spreader is because President Obama has decided to have a birthday party with potentially about 350 guests at his sprawling 29-acre property on Martha's Vineyard. Now, I mentioned earlier that people on the right are in a tizzy about this because, hypocrisy, you're having a super spreader. Okay, calm the hell down, okay? This is President Obama we're talking about. President Obama's not having a soul at that property unless they are adhering to strict COVID regulations. And yes, this is going to be a COVID-safe environment. I'm sure everybody who shows up is probably going to get tested and all that stuff because he's President Obama, damn it. And why can't he have an event? Surely people can social distance. They can find some place to spread out in those 29 acres. I'm sure. But there's people out there who are really butthurt, maybe because they didn't get an invite or whatever. Like this guy, Glenn Greenwald. Glenn Greenwald is a writer for The Intercept, and he tweeted, former President Obama is hosting a 60th birthday bash for himself on Martha's Vineyard, held at the Obama's $12 million home, which sits on 30 oceanfront acres, 475 confirmed guests. Pearl Jam was set to play. Steven Spielberg also was expected. Oh my goodness, what a scandal. He also adds that the Obama bash taking place after a nearby Delta outbreak in Provincetown, as millions face evictions after Obama presided over a massive foreclosed crisis, sounds great. Interesting how every major U.S. politician finds vast oligarchical wealth after leaving office. All right, Glenn, let's straighten something out. First of all, Provincetown is very far from Martha's Vineyard. As you can see on this map here, it's more than 50 miles away, and you can only get there by boat. Okay. Secondly, you're complaining about oligarchical wealth. Well, you know what? President Obama got his wealth the good old new-fashioned way with 2 best-selling books. I think Michelle Obama has her own bestseller. They've got Netflix deals. They acquired their wealth the right way. I didn't see Glenn Greenwald complaining about the gold-plated grifter in Mar-a-Lago. So maybe you guys just calm your shit down and wish President Obama a happy birthday. Oh, and I see we had a late birthday to Matt. Which Matt are we talking about? Oh, it's M. Getz. What up? Happy birthday, M. Getz, to you. I don't know when your birthday was, but happy belated birthday to you, my brother. Yes. All right, so that's it for our quick hits. Let's go ahead and jump on into our timeline cleanse. Wait, where's my mouse thing here? Hang on. There we go. No? There we go. Timeline cleanse. Some weird technical difficulties here. I hope you guys can still hear me just fine. All right, timeline cleanse. So first up, does anybody remember the movie starring Tom Cruise where he did all these fancy tricks with bottles of booze? I believe it was called Cocktail. Yes, this wig is getting a little warm. And gets... yeah, so I came across this clip. I'm just going to call it Cocktail 2.0. Definitely do not try this at home. Not with glass. Unless you're a trained professional. She is juggling and spinning and catching and flipping. There's got to be an easier way to make a drink, but that is definitely impressive. She's popping it off the elbow there. That's got to hurt, I think. That's right. Elizabeth Shue was in that movie as well, Linda Kay. Thank you. Super cool. All right. So that woman has some skills. Next up, I want to make sure before I show this clip that all of you know, if you see a large body of water in front of you, this is not a joke, if you see a large body of water, if you see a massive deep puddle in front of you, don't drive through it. If you must drive through a big deep puddle, Go slowly because that shit will mess up your car. Well, that's what I thought until I saw this Land Rover go through a very deep body of water. So I'm pretty sure that is a Land Rover. It's kind of old too. And this rocket scientist is driving right into it. Driving. And I don't know what that pipe is there. I thought maybe it was like a breathing apparatus, But there he goes. He's driving straight into, I don't know, is that a lake? Must be a lake or a pond. Range Rover, Lee Saunders says. It's a Range Rover. Thank you, Lee and Sylvia Correa. There he goes. That thing is still moving. I see smoke, I think. Exhaust. And he stuck his head out of the water. That thing is still moving, and it has actually climbed onto land. I don't know how the hell they did that, but it's impressive. It's stupid, but I'm impressed. Snorkel. Thank you, Ness. A snorkel for the engine. Yeah. That's insane. Why would you ever need something like this? Like, this guy actually had to rig his vehicle for this to post a video to go viral, I guess. It is kind of cool. John says it's a snorkel. Okay, we got it. It's a snorkel. Lee Saunders said, you'll see most of them in Chelsea parking badly. All right. So, yeah, again, do not try that at home. Yeah. John says military uses it in all terrain. That's a fun fact. I did not know that. Thank you for that fun fact. Last but not least, in the spirit of the Olympics, I had to show you this one here. There is a runner. This is a track and field clip. And this runner, let me get the name for you so I don't botch this here. I got to give credit where credit is due. The runner's name is Sifan Hassan. Now, Sifan Hassan was running one of those long marathon runs, and they slipped and fell with only 400 meters to go. And with that said, here's the video.
Start to this quest.
Ayo, she finished in first place. That's insane. And then Tracy Mendenhall says, okay, spoiler alert, close your ears if you don't want to hear this. But she says, Stacey Mendenhall says, 11 hours later, she won the gold in the 5,000 meter. Wow. And that just goes to show you never give up. There's no reason to give up because everybody's already going to try to count you out anyway. That's what I told my kids. They're going to try to count you out anyway. So there's no sense in giving up. Just give it all you got. Even if you fall. You know, when you fall, right, and you skin your knee, what's the first thing you want to do? You're like, everybody makes that noise. That shit hurts. Sometimes you see stars. Yo, she got up and she finished in first place. That is incredible. So congratulations to her. Fantastic. And there you go. There you have it. Our timeline cleanse. I like to finish off the timeline cleanse on a positive note as opposed to an all-out pizza shop brawl, if I can help it. All right. Ness from Connecticut says, like Peter Griffin. That is exactly who I was thinking of when I said that. It's so funny. Thank you for that. All right. So, on to our top story, our main story of the day. Will Dems cause Jim Crow 2.0? Now, stop me if you've seen a movie like this already. Horror movie. Here's a monster. And there's a woman running from the monster / evil person / creep, whatever. Killer. She's running, and what happens? She falls. Always, without fail. Why do they do that? Why do they have the protagonist always clumsy at that moment, falling. And not only just falling, but like they don't get up. They're like, scooching back on their butt away from the threat. Horrible. I hate that shit. Always happens. Or how about this one? Protagonist of the movie hears some suspicious, growling, dangerous sounds. Omar Jarala, thank you, my friend, for the donation. I appreciate it. They hear some crazy, scary, frightening sounds in a dark basement. And what do? They go into the basement. No light? No problem. I'm just going to feel around for the danger. Without fail, every single time. Pisses me off. And then, of course, you have a protagonist who's looking for, they have to choose between the safe way to go or the dangerous way to go. And 9 times out of 10, they're always going to choose the dangerous path, and to be honest, if these people in these movies acted the way most of us with common sense would, as soon as we saw stupid, crazy, haunted things happening in our house, I'm out. I'm out. Me, kids, pack it up and go. We might not even pack. We might just go. So why am I bringing up horror story cliches for you? Because we've seen this before. We've seen these horror things before. We've been horrified at how stupidly the same mistakes are made over and over and over. So, America has had its fair share of voting rights controversies. We've been fighting. I don't know why. This is America, land of the free, home of the brave. But for some reason, not all Americans have always had access to voting rights. Whether it was women's suffrage movement back in the early 1900s, or it was the civil rights movement in the mid 1900s, in the 50s and the 60s. There, if you're not familiar with it, that's John Lewis getting beaten by a cop by that bridge. And, today, even today, we continue to fight for voting rights. This is 2021. And never have our voting rights been more in peril as they are today. Now, these voter suppression laws are serious. It's not just, a lot of the people on the right, they try to minimize it, say, oh, you're just complaining about voter ID. Everybody has to use ID for this and that. If it was just voter ID, I think we could deal with that. I think just having only voter ID as being the one issue, I think we could out-organize that kind of voter suppression. But it's not. It's not just voter ID. It's everything else. It's who gets to count the votes. It's how many drop-off ballots are going to be allowed. It's all type of shit like that. And hang on, let me just refer to my notes here. Yeah. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because I read a fascinating article, and I highly recommend that you guys check it out on CNN.com. CNN.com. It was written by John Blake, and he used those horror story examples to introduce his story on how Dems are about to make a blunder on voting rights that could lead to Jim Crow 2.0. Currently, President Biden is in the middle of trying to push his infrastructure packages, plural, through in a bid to appeal to moderate whites, both in the Democratic Party as well as the Republican Party. He is backed off of the voting rights fight. And that is a mistake. That is a crucial mistake, because who are voter suppression laws going to hurt the most? They're going to hurt people of color, black people particularly. And black people have been the backbone, black voters, the backbone of the Democratic Party, the most reliable voting bloc. Why? Because Republicans have made it their mission in life to oppose everything that could possibly benefit or help us out of the ditch they dug for us. It wasn't always like that, though. It was not always like that. Republicans used to be the party of, anti-slavery, abolishing slavery. What I've got on the screen for you right now are pictures of Jim Crow. Jim Crow were a bunch of laws that were set up in the South primarily that segregated the population, right? It said only whites can eat at this restaurant, or only blacks have to use only this water fountain or only this bathroom. We won't wash. This laundry service will only wash for white people. This company here, whites only, and maids in uniform accepted. And so it goes all the way back to Reconstruction, right? Reconstruction happened in the 1800s. It was from 1865 to 1877. And this was following the Civil War. The Civil War wreaked havoc in the South. There was a lot of destruction. If you imagine like our infrastructure is kind of shitty today, it's crumbling, et cetera, their infrastructure after the Civil War was devastated. A lot of buildings were burned down, a lot of businesses, a lot of roads were destroyed, railroads, even the railroads, they used to peel up, like the soldiers were instructed by the generals, peel up the train tracks and actually wrap them around trees to ensure, because once you cut off the railroads, you're cutting off the in and out of that city or that town. They can't get supplies, they can't get food, they can't get business, and the plan was that would speed up the end of the Civil War. Excuse me. So right after the Civil War, Reconstruction saw some serious changes in the South. Well, how serious? First of all, the 14th Amendment was formed, and that the 14th Amendment is what put birthright citizenship in the Constitution, right? So if you were born here, you automatically are a citizen, and you should have access to all the rights and privileges and protections that birthright citizenship grants you. And then shortly after that, they had the 15th Amendment established, and that prohibited states from restricting the right to vote based on race. And how did that affect the South? Well, shockingly, there was a lot of participation from African Americans in politics. There were 16 serving in Congress. 16 black folks were serving in Congress, 600 in state legislatures, and hundreds more in local offices, in positions like sheriff or justice of the peace, and the whites back then were not thrilled with this development. Go figure. In fact, seeing so many black people in positions of power created a huge wave of resentment, which led to the rise of the KKK. And then Congress enacted a series of enforcement acts that authorized national action to suppress political violence. Yeah. So then in 1871, the Ulysses S. Grant administration launched a legal and military offensive that destroyed the Klan. the Ku Klux Klan. After that, though, Rutherford B. Hayes was one of our presidents, and he was elected in 1876. And apparently, there was some kind of discrepancy. Some weird shit went down with the vote. Some vote tallies didn't look right. And so the Democrats, back then, Democrats were like Republicans today. Okay. So the Democrats, they said, all right, we're going to make a deal with you. We're not going to question the vote results, but you have to acknowledge that Democrats, we got the South on lockdown. Get your troops the hell on out of here, because there were troops down in the South kind of helping to maintain order. So they pulled all the troops out, and that allowed Jim Crow to resurface. Yeah. And it was bad. So back then, Jim Crow, they were referred to as black codes. Black codes said, black codes would determine where a black person could work, how much they were allowed to make, where they could live, basically everything that would ensure that their position was kept as low as possible. They had as little opportunity for advancement as possible, you know. But then blacks started to flee when they heard that there were no black codes in big cities like Atlanta, for instance, right? So there was a lot of flight to the big cities. That's why there's a lot of African Americans in big cities. There's Pasta D. Somebody said, Pasta D, they were looking for you earlier. They said, what's up with Pasta D? She's here. So then, because of all this flight into the big cities, the whites that were living in those big cities were like, hey, we got too many black folks here. Why don't you start up some of those, Jim Crow laws? And that's when the Jim Crow started, and it lasted for damn near a century. And this is what Scribble My Dibbles is saying. This is why it's systemic racism. It's baked into the system. Back then, they had former Confederate soldiers. Former Confederate soldiers were judges and shit. They were all embedded in the legal system. So even if there were statutes and amendments and things, baked into the Constitution says you can't do this, well, who's going to enforce it locally? These former Confederate soldiers. So yeah, you're absolutely right. It was baked in. So Republicans, meanwhile, they gambled that that the desire for economic improvement was going to be bigger than whites' hatred of black equality. So they're like, you know what? Let's pivot. Let's shift away from all this racial politics and let's get into economic politics, right? Because it's all about the economy, stupid, right? Yeah. So basically, they left the backbone of their party, Republicans, left the backbone of their party, the black voters, to fend for themselves while they appeal to moderate whites. Does that sound familiar at all to anybody? Because it sure does sound familiar to me. To me. Here we are in 2021, and we have states all over America imposing draconian voter suppression laws that are being sued, but they're not being addressed by the guy with the biggest megaphone in the country, the President of the United States, President Biden. Why should he address it? Because we can't do anything we have two voting right laws that we need passed. The John Lewis Voting Rights Law and the For the People Act. That's the big one. That's the really big one. And those two laws will address all of our concerns. All of the voter suppression efforts will be fixed. But we can't get either of those passed unless the filibuster is done away with. And Joe Biden, he doesn't want to mess with the filibuster. So he's thinking, if I make an appeal through this infrastructure deal, maybe we can get some more moderate whites over here that'll make up for the loss of the black people who don't want to deal with this bullshit anymore. Black people are tired of being the ones whose votes are taken for granted. We show up. We bailed out Biden. We bailed his ass out. His campaign was running on fumes. He had nothing. And then South Carolina happened, and boom, he was back in it. And the rest is history. Look, don't get me wrong. I'm glad that we elected him, but I'm really pissed off that he's leaving us at the altar. He's forgetting the ones who brought him to the dance. That's a big mistake, because you know what? At some point, people are going to stop showing up. They're going to stop showing up. If my vote is going to count a whole lot less than Jethro down in Alabama because his skin is different, I believe 100% in participating in the democratic process. I believe in it. I believe that is the only way to achieve our goals. But there's no amount of organizing and cheerleading and rah-rah that is going to outpace these voter suppression laws. You can't out-organize when when the Republicans are in charge of counting the votes. That's serious. Doesn't matter if we get the turnout of the century. If we turn out even stronger than we did in 2018, the Republicans know that that's a threat, that we can turn up. They know that mail-in ballots during a pandemic will wipe them away. And I'm very concernicus about this. I wish President Biden would use his bully pulpit. I wish he would step to Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin and straighten them the hell out. Because if he doesn't, we're looking at another century of Jim Crow 2.0. So yeah, definitely check out that article on CNN. I'll say it again. It was written by a guy by the name of John Blake. It was fascinating and, and scary at the same time. Because, you see us making the same mistakes over and over. I'm concerned that Joe Biden thinks that this Republican Party is the same one that existed back in the 90s and the 80s, and it ain't. It just ain't. All right. Let's move right along to one of my favorite features of this show. You guys know what it is. It's the guessing game part of the show. This one is Name That Disco Tune. Now, those of you who are unfamiliar with the whole guessing game theme of the show, I'm going to sing some or read some of the lyrics of a song, and you listen, and when you recognize it, you're going to type in, I know what that is, and you type it in and hit send, and then I read off the top 10 or so names that guessed correctamundo, as Trump Reaper says, disco, disco, duck. All right. Disco, disco, duck. That's not a song. I'm not singing. That's not one of these guesses, okay? Julianne Gauthier says she sucks at disco. I guarantee you're going to get at least one of these right. You guys are going to be surprised. You think I'm going to pick some old obscure disco hits? Nah, man. Misha Oliver says, I hate disco, BDD. Tough shit. You know these. I guarantee it. All right. Here's the first one. Blah, 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 blah is melting in the dark. All the sweet green icing flowing down. Someone left the cake out in the rain. I don't think that I can take it, 'cause it took so long to bake it, and I'll never have that recipe again. Again. Okay. We were looking for Donna Summer, MacArthur Park, or as I said it, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, MacArthur Park. Okay. La da 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 da, ra ta ta da da. All right, at the top here we got Eddie G, Tracy M, Kyler Murphy, Pasta D, Steph KW, Gary Montero, Victorina, Cha Cha, la 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 la, Monique Lee, Phyllis Hatch. Ah, there she is, Julianne Gautier. What did I tell you? Huh? You might not like disco, but you got that one right. Gavin Rutherford, the Trump Reaper, Sheila Bird, Misha Oliver. Oh, there's another one, Misha Oliver. I hate disco, but she got that right. All right, let's go into the next one. Next one, I'm guessing that most of you. Oh, Sandra says 1 octave down, please. All right. Many of you might just get the musical intro to this song. Dun 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 dun. Hand me down my walking cane, hand me down my hat. Hurry now and don't be late, 'cause we ain't got time to chat. Dun, 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 dun. You and me, we're going out to catch the latest sound. Guaranteed to blow your mind so high you won't come down. Hey, y'all, prepare yourself for the mm-mm, mm. All right, let's see. Do I have a consensus? It appears that I do have some type of consensus here. This song is Rubber Band Man, performed by the Spinners, and it was featured in the Avengers movie. As I said, that's what caused me to do this thing here. And at the top here we got Star Shoemate. Let's see. That damn Karen. She has returned. That damn Karen. There you are. Where were you the past few shows? I was looking for you. That damn Karen. Widget Baby is here. Kyler Murphy. Cha Cha. Tracy M, Steph KW, Sheila Bird, Misha Oliver, there she is again, another one, Misha Oliver, Phyllis Hatch, Lisa Straw, M. Getz, Bernadette, Gavin Rutherford. Yes, that's a disco song. Trump Reaper, that counts as disco. Kimberly McAllister, correct. Oh, Scribble My Dibble says that could have been Flash Gordon. But it wasn't. All right, here's the next one. Listen closely. Here it is. My baby moves at midnight. Diddle goes right on till the dawn. Diddle my woman takes me higher. Diddle my woman keeps me warm. What you doing in your bed on the back? What you doing in your bed on the back? Yes, if you're not already, you should be dancing, say the Brothers G, the BGs. And let's see, who do we got here? So you should be dancing, yeah. Diddly dancing, yeah. Oh, Scribbles, you're still on this thing. Yeah, it could have also been 9 to 5. But I did say disco, and Flash Gordon was not disco, nor was 9 to 5. All right, at the top here we got Cha Cha, M Gets, Pasta D, Kevin Murphy, That Damn Karen, Tracy M, Eddie G, Misha Oliver, Paula Freitas, Watcher Soko, Julian Gautier, once again, another one for the disco hater. Let's see, Sheila Bird, Cindy C, Sylvia Correa, Lisa Straw, Synth Fan, Phyllis Hatch, Victorina, Misha Oliver, the Trump Reaper, Monique Lee, Jasmine Lacey. Okay, very good. Let's see, what do we got here? Next one. Are you ready? Here we go. I'm starting in the middle of this song. Ah, baby, my heart is full of love and desire for you. Now come on down and do what you got to do. You started this fire down in my soul. Now can't you see it's burning out of control? Come on, satisfy the need in me. 'Cause only your good loving could set me free. Need your loving, baby. Need it, need it. Oh, I feel like I have stumped a bunch of you. Ah, baby. All right, I think I got some of you. Here we go. Boom. We were looking for Thelma Houston. Don't leave me this way, no. I can't survive. I can't stay alive. All right, at the top here we got Kevin Murphy. That damn Karen. Sylvia Correa. Stephanie L. Sheila Bird. Julianne Gautier is 3 for 3, but hates disco. Gavin Rutherford. Misha Oliver. Jen Murphy. Cha Cha. Lee Saunders. Monique Lee. Bernadette. Watcher Soko. Samantha Hawkins. Lisa Straw. That damn Karen. All right. Cha Cha. Kimberly McAllister. Very good, you guys. Okay, next up. Here we go. Girl, I've known you very well. I've seen you growing every day. I've never really looked before, but now you take my breath away. Suddenly you're in my life, part of everything I do. You got me working day and night, just trying to keep a hold on you. This is the only way that we can ride. This is a chance for happiness. And if I lose you now, I think I would die. Oh, say you'll always be my baby. We can make it shine. We can dance forever, just minute at a time. I'm more than a woman. Ooh, baby. More than a woman to me. All right, let's see. Who's at the top here? Let's see. Okay, so close, Gary Montero. You had the right group, but the wrong song. We were looking for Bee Gees' More Than a Woman. And at the top here, we got Pasta D, M Gets, Lee Saunders, Tracy M., Synth Fan, The Trump Reaper. By the way, Gary, I am giving you partial credit for that. You did get the group right, so that's good enough for me. Excuse me. The Trump Reaper, That Damn Karen, Kathy Murphy, Paula Freitas, Eddie G., Gavin Rutherford and Synth Fan. Yeah, I'll give it to you. Lisa Strauss, Stephanie L., Misha Oliver, Cha Cha, Cindy C., Sylvia Correa, Tina G., Jen Murphy, Pasta di Watcher Socco. Okay, very good. Next up, I'm going to keep it moving. Here we go. These high voice things, forgive me. I'm doing my best here. Lovely is a feeling now. Fever, temperatures rising now. Power, oh power, is a force of vow that makes it happen. It asks no questions why. Get closer, closer now to my body now. Just love me till you don't know how. Ooh, give up, and if I stop, don't stop till you. Whoa, wait a minute. Damn it! Oh, shit. I screwed up my own game again. It's not a BDD game unless I'm screwing it up. So, yes, those of you who correctly guessed Michael Jackson, don't stop till you get enough. How did I miss that damn thing? Let's see. So, at the top here, we have, I'm going to leave the BGs here for now. Let's see. We got Eddie G., Pasta D, Synth Fan, Victorina, Tracy M, Sylvia Correa, Kathy Murphy, Misha Oliver, The Trump Reaper, Phyllis Hatch, Lucy L, Sydney C, John Robichaud, Stephanie L, Jasmine Lacey, Monique Lee, Gavin Rutherford, Melissa McQueen, Sheila Bird, Lisa Straw, M. Getz, Cha Cha, Julianne Gautier, That Damn Karen. Did I say Sylvia Correa? Victorina? Okay, very good. Michael Jackson when he was still black. All right. So, obviously, I did mess up a little bit. I hope you guys didn't see that. All right. Next one. Here we go. I'm just going to read this one because if I sing it, it's way too easy. She's a very kinky girl, the kind you don't take home to mother. She will never let your spirits down once you get her off the street. And if you are guessing Kermit the Frog, you are incorrect. We were looking for Rick James, Super Freak. I would not have accepted Kermit or what's my man Hammer, MC Hammer. So John Robichaud said, bet the next one is Rick James. Thank you for holding off until I started reading. Then we got Synth Fan, Eddie G, Tracy M, Pasta D, John Robichaud, Kathy Murphy, Jen Murphy, Misha Oliver, Watcher Soko, Star She Made, Cha Cha, Melissa McQueen, Sylvia Correa, Victorina, M. Getz, The Trump Reaper, Lisa Straw, Phyllis Hatch. Wait, Phyllis Hatch, you said Brick House. Stephanie L. from Florida, Sydney C., Kathleen Cross. Okay, very good, you guys. I see Tina G too. There you go. All right. This one's maybe a little challenging. May be the stumper of the night. Here we go. Please don't talk about love tonight. Please don't talk about sweet love. Please don't talk about being true and all the trouble we've been through. Ah, please don't talk about all of the plans that we had for fixing this broken romance. I want to go where the people dance. I want some action. I want to live action. I got so much to give. I want to give it. I want to get some too. I love the nightlife. I got to boogie on the disco round. No, yay. No, this was not Donna Summers, nor is it Bridget Nielsen. I watched the video for this song. I was like, holy shit, that looks just like Bridget Nielsen from Rocky IV. It is not. It is Alicia Bridges with, she's a one-hit wonder, but what a one hit that was. I Love the Nightlife. And let's see, at the top here we got Tracy M., Eddie G., Cindy C., Kathy Murphy, Sheila Bird, Jen Murphy, Monique Lee, Cha-Cha, Misha Oliver. Misha, you getting all these, but you hate the disco. I don't know. Sylvia Correa, Watcher Soko, Gavin Rutherford, Victorina, Lisa Straw. You know, it's funny. I notice a lot of our brothers and sisters over there in either in Ireland or Scotland or England. They all dig the disco. They pretty much, as far as I can see. Stephanie L., Bernadette, Phyllis Hatch. Okay, so very good, you guys. I'm going to jump on over to the next one. Oh, damn it. That's where I had Michael Jackson hiding. I got my notes all mixed up. All right. Here's the next one, you guys, okay? Missing one angel child, 'cause you're here with me right now. Your love is heavenly, baby. Heavenly to me, baby. Your kiss filled with tenderness. I want all I can get of your sexiness. Showers. Your love comes in showers. And every hour of the hour, you let me feel your loving power. Oh, I have stumped a bunch of you already. Ha! I got some of you guessed this one. Not that mainstream. It's still a popular song. Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel. All right, and at the top here we got Tracy M., Lisa Straw, Cha-Cha, Kathy Murphy, Jen Murphy is stumped, Cindy C., Lucy L., Sylvia Correa, Misha Oliver, Stephanie L., Gavin Rutherford, Lisa Straw, Monique Lee, Julianne Gauthier, there again, another one, doesn't like the disco, guessing all of them correctly. Bernadette, let's see. Oh, and the name of the group was the, damn it, what's the name of this group here? Oh, Tavares. It's totally a disco song, Julianne. This one, you do the what's that dance they do to the disco? What's that main disco dance two people do? It's not the tango. I can't remember the name of it. All right. Um, damn, the name of that dance is right at the tip of my tongue. What's that disco dance two people do? The hustle. Thank you. Tracy M, Victorina, Eddie G, the hustle, and Julianne, the disco hater. Okay, here's the last one, guys. All right. Another high pitched one. I don't know why I picked all these. Here's the last one. You you got a cute way of talking. You got the better of me. Just snap your fingers and I'm walking like a dog hanging on your lid. I'm in a spin, you know, shaking on a string, you know. Woo! Woo! I feel like dancing, woo, dancing night away. Here we've got look-alike, Richard Simmons look-alike, Leo Sayer with You Make Me Feel Like Dancing. And at the top here, we got Eddie G at the top again, Victorina, Watcher Soko, Julian Gautier, Cindy C., Melissa McQueen, Stephanie L., Jed Murphy, Lucy L., Monique Lee, Sylvia Correa, Misha Oliver, Gavin Rutherford, Cha-Cha, Calabarber, Tracy M., Star She Made, Lisa Straw, Pasta D says, da bump, Watcher Soko, Lisa Straw, Bernadette. Okay, very good, you guys. Excellent. This has been fun. Now I got to get this damn wig off for real. I'm melting. I'm melting. Whew. Oh, my head can breathe again. Okay, guys, thank you for joining me for that part of the show. That's been fun, and I can see I've run long on time again, so we are going to go ahead and jump right from this onto You Raggedy Bish. And today's You Raggedy Bish, you've probably seen it this whole entire weekend, people jumping on this jackass. He's been in this slot quite a few times, but he definitely has earned the spot for his latest offense.
GOP leader Kevin McCarthy made some comments at a Tennessee Republican Party fundraiser last night. He was imagining the moment when Republicans take back the House and Speaker Nancy Pelosi relinquishes her gavel to him. Have a listen.
I want you to watch Nancy Pelosi hand me that gavel. It'll be hard not to hit her with the...
Dude, are you kidding me, bro? Are you kidding me? It is bad enough that Speaker Nancy Pelosi's life was in real peril on January 6th. There people were looking to kill her on January 6th. But now you want to feed you. You are the GOP minority leader. You're supposed to, carry some kind of, you're supposed to carry yourself in some kind of way. You're supposed to command respect, not just respect for yourself and your colleagues, but respect for women, okay? and you want to make a joke? His spokesperson said that he was joking, but that's nothing to joke about. In this heated political climate, jokes about harming our women politicians, it's way too much of it. I remember when Trump joked about the people using their Second Amendment to do something about Hillary Clinton. Now, thank God, nothing happened to her then. But America today is very different from America 4 or 5 years ago. It's very different. You have some very suggestible people out there, people who are open to hearing that shit, and they will swear up and down that Kevin McCarthy told them to do so. Kevin McCarthy, who voted against the Violence Against Women Act. No surprise there. He voted against pandemic relief. He voted against the $3,600 child tax credit. He allows these two jackasses to feature prominently in his caucus without once calling them, telling them to, curb their shit. No, their antics, I guess he thinks they help him. They help his caucus. But they are jackasses. Matt Gaetz should have been stripped of all of his committee assignments, as should Jim Jordan. Instead, what does Kevin McCarthy do? He suggests Jim Jordan, Mr. Pedophile Enabler, he suggests him for the January 6th Select Committee, which just showed everybody Kevin McCarthy is not a serious person. He is still protecting Donald Trump. He had a minute. He had 60 seconds where he relocated his spine on the day of the impeachment. He came out and he said, yeah, President Trump does bear some responsibility for what happened. What happened to that Kevin McCarthy? That Kevin McCarthy was clearly a mirage. And my guess right now is that this January 6th commission has a whole lot of liability for him and his caucus. And, I don't know why I allow myself to be surprised by the behavior of people like that. Back in the day when you had a position like that, when you were the GOP minority chair or the GOP majority leader, there was a baseline expectation for conduct. And that's gone. That's gone. And I really hope that we can gather up enough people to vote his ass out next year. We shall see. Okay. That's about all the time I have for the show. I want to remind those of you who are still watching to please hit that like button. I was remiss in reminding people during the show. I always forget. Please remember to hit the like button. I got time for one question because I'm sorry. I did run a little long on this show here. Roger Soko says it's really sad that this is how Republicans need to talk to their voters. It is. Lee Saunders says follow and retweet Bruno Amato, who I noticed a few people said Bruno Amato is running against Kevin McCarthy. Yes. Excellent suggestion, Lee Saunders. Thank you for that. JCM says the GOP have become a bunch of thugs. Monique Lee says you all see Jim Bag admit to talking to the former guy on January 6th, lying and stuttering at the same time. I did catch that. It was actually quite funny. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Cindy, only one. Sorry. Let's see. Wilbur McCarthy says, I wonder what was on that RNC server Putin hacked. Your guess is as good as mine. I'm not counting that as a question because I don't have an answer to it. Here we go. M gets, what's your favorite ice cream? A good subject. My favorite ice cream, I'm going to say, is birthday cake flavored ice cream. And in second place, Second place is the rainbow sherbet. It's turkey. I believe it's Turkey Hill rainbow sherbet. It's like 3 flavors. It's quite delicious. I love sherbet. Love it. One bonus question from Melissa McQueen wants to know, how long will we have to wear masks? My guess, we're looking at March or April of next year. That's best case scenario. That's my best case scenario, I'm thinking. Because, yeah, the cases are out of control right now. Nobody in their right mind thinks we're going to have to stop wearing masks any sooner than that, I don't think. Phew! So, with that said, guys, thank you for joining me for another wonderful episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, a.k.a. Brooklyn Dan. And if you got to go out, please remember, if you haven't already gotten your vax, go and get vaccinated. Make sure you are wearing your mask. Keep your social distance 6 feet or better. And have a lovely, relaxing evening. Now, as you guys know, I won't be here tomorrow. I will be back here Wednesday, hump day, same time, same place, hopefully a little bit earlier and not as long-winded. I love you all. Peace. Oh my God. M Getz said, can I just steal some vaccines and just stab people in the ass with them randomly? M Getz, no. That would be assault. You would be arrested for assault. But that is funny though. Hey! Thank you to our moderators once again, and Misha, thanks for putting that up there. Yeah, this was yet another smooth episode. You know, I noticed if I put little catchphrases, if I put the name Hillary Clinton in the body of the tweet for the show, guaranteed to have at least 20 trolls. Lisa Straw says, thank you for another fantastical show. It was fun and entertaining as usual. I want to thank you for using the word fantastical. I feel like that's a BDD word. Thank you for using that. M Getz is dancing now because every time the song comes on at the end, he starts getting up and dancing. That is the correct thing to do. Hey! Lisa Straw did love the disco game. Thank you. Thank you for enjoying that. This was John Robichaux's first show. So thank you, John Robichaud, for participating. He says he enjoyed himself. So his first one I watched was awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right, you guys. Wonderful show. Thank you all so much. But, now it's that time. So you need to leave.